What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and today is another episode of Movie Review Wednesday. But before we hop into any of that, I just want to start off by saying, first off, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, liking, commenting, subscribing. All that means the absolute world. If you enjoy any of the content that you see on this channel, movie reviews, reactions, rankings, Blu-ray stuff, music stuff, all that jazz. If you enjoy any of that, please consider dropping a subscription. It really does mean the absolute world. Another thing is, I'm trying to do like a new type of set thing. It's a little hard because in my apartment I do not have a set area like a lot of YouTubers do to make a set. I have very limited space, so I'm trying the best I can to play around with different set ideas. Eventually, hopefully, I have a set that I can make and have for videos, but right now I simply do not have the space nor the time to do something like that. So yeah, that's kind of what we are doing today. And today is another episode of Movie Review Wednesday. So if you are new and you do not already know what Movie Review Wednesday is, this is basically what it is. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you the synopsis, tell you what it is about, and then I will tell you what it is rated on certain rating websites. Then we will get into the actual review. I will tell you the good, tell you the bad, tell you what I liked, tell you what I didn't like, and then at the end we will get into the point breakdown. Basically what the point breakdown is I took it upon myself this year. I said I do not want to randomly have just ratings just out there, just randomly throw them out there. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to actually have a numerical system that I can rank and rate these movies. So what I did was at the beginning of the year, I came up with that system. I have different categories with different point values. At the end of the video, we will go into all of that. We will explain all of that for you guys. But yeah, today, what we are reviewing is the brand new Netflix big time action movie starring Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's right, we are reviewing Project Power. Pretty excited to talk about this one. I just saw it yesterday. I'm relatively looking forward to talking about it. And I think without further ado, let's just hop right in to the synopsis. So the synopsis for Project Power: a former soldier teams up with a cop to find a source behind a dangerous pill that provides temporary superpowers. So 6 out of 10 on IMDb, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 3 out of 5 on Common Sense Media. I've heard of that before, but I don't exactly know what Common Sense Media is, but we'll just go with it. So let's just get right into the review. We're going to get into the good, and the first good is the performances. The performances are really well. I mean, there's a lot of potential here. You've got some really big name cast members here: Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Machine Gun Kelly, just to name a few. And they are relatively good. One of the other parts in here that I have in the good is the emotion. There are some really great emotional moments, and a lot of that has to do with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx and their relationship with Robin, who is played by Dominique Fishback, who I think gives a fantastic, she's probably one of the best performances. Their chemistry with her, as well as their chemistry with just the story, and you see the passion, and you can actually see that here. They're not phoning it in. Now, sometimes in Netflix movies that aren't very great, the actor's kind of phoning it in. They're just kind of doing it for a paycheck. You don't really see that here. You genuinely feel and believe the emotion that these people are trying to convey. And that is something that is done really good, and something that actually really kept me engaged with the movie was these performances. Another thing that I think is really great is the concept of the movie. This is a complete twist on the superhero genre. Having a pill that is a drug that gives you superpowers, and you've got drug dealers and people like that, that's actually really interesting, and a concept that I had never really thought of or thought could be a thing. And that was done really well, and that was also something that really intrigued me, kept me locked in, and that was it was done very well. I know I'm gonna say very well a lot, but it was done. It was great. And with the concept of getting superpowers from taking a pill, and each person has unique side effects, which then in turn is unique powers, they were able to choreograph some very impressive action sequences that would revolve around this specific superpower. That's something that I really liked. It was fresh. It was innovative in some ways. And the ways that our characters were put into different predicaments based on what type of superpower the villain was getting was really, really good. I mean, the first kind of action scene we have is Jamie Foxx against Machine Gun Kelly. And instead of just like beating him up or shooting him, he's got to be more clever because Machine Gun Kelly is some big fire rage monster. And then Jamie Foxx had to get creative. And then in turn, you know, with water and, you know, cooling him down and stuff like that. It was done, it was great. I mean, it kept me locked in. It kept me wanting to, you know, keep seeing more because it was so unique and because it was done very well. So that was something I just gotta give props to, you know, the people that created this and wrote this movie. That was done well. And the choreographers and the stunt people and all of that, they did it so well and it was so good and I really enjoyed it. The next one is entertainment. This movie is entertaining. This is like the perfect, we have not had a summer blockbuster season whatsoever at all this year due to COVID. It hasn't happened. But if you can kind of find a bookend to the summer season that we had, if any, this is like the perfect bookend to that season. It is a fun, action-packed time. You can just turn it on, shove some popcorn in your face, and just have fun and be engrossed in this. And it was done perfectly. It was the perfect action blockbuster that anyone could watch on Netflix to end the summer with. I was highly entertained throughout. But the next point I want to say is it wasn't just an entertaining powerhouse. There was also some great emotion involved. The whole arc about all Jamie Foxx wants to do is find his daughter. That was great. All of that was awesome. You know, which leads to a very emotional ending. Not going to spoil it for you, but there's a very emotional ending, and I really liked it, and I dug it, and people are going to hate me for that, but it was really, really good. Overall thoughts of this movie is it is a fun time on your couch with some great heart and great emotion and some really, really good performances, along with great stunt choreography, I mean, and great action sequences. Why would you not want to watch this film? I highly recommend this film. It is really, really good. But with the good comes the bad. So the first is there is some ridiculous CGI. Now, I get it's Netflix. I get it's not being made by a big studio, but Netflix is a kind of a big studio. They are throwing millions of dollars at movies. And you'd think some of the CGI would look just a little bit better, but I digress. I'm not going to complain too much about that. But that was something that was a turnoff at times and kind of took me out of it, was some of the lackluster CGI. I will say with the writing, though, there's not a lot of character development. There's a little bit, but not a lot. We don't really learn about Jamie Foxx's character until like the very end, where I probably would have liked to know more. But we just didn't get that. We didn't get that character development. So, you know, there was a little bit of world building, but overall, the development wasn't there. And I know you're trying to cram a lot into under 2 hours. It was an hour and 53 minutes. So I get that, but at the same time, I wish they would have done more. Maybe make it a almost 2.5 hour film to lend a little bit more character development, or maybe take out one of the action sequences, even though they're all great. Maybe take out one of the action sequences to add a little more character development. That's like the only, like one of the only things that I don't like, is there is some lackluster writing. And that was a little bit of a turnoff, but not so much that it really, really killed the rating of the film. I do also want to add, real quick, that's it with the review, the good and the bad, that's all for that. I do want to add, though, that seeing Casey Neistat in this movie and seeing him get knocked out and just his cameo as some, like, gangster thug is hilarious. I love Casey Neistat. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and that cameo is just awesome, and I really do love it. But that's it with the review. We're going to get into the point breakdown right now, and I think let's just kind of hop into it. So the first one is entertainment. This is out of 25. 20 out of 25. Very entertaining. I had a good time with it, but you know, it wasn't so extravagant that it was, you know, like it was no Avengers Endgame, but I did still have a really good time with it. Performances, 16 out of 20. You know, there's some aspects that I didn't like, but a majority of it was really, really good. I mean, it only lost 4 points, so that's not bad. Direction, 10 out of 10. I actually think the direction of this movie is relatively good. I don't have a lot of complaints with it. The writing, though, 5 out of 10. The writing only got 5 points. Not a lot of character development, not a lot of world building. I wish we would have had more of that. Emotions, 7 out of 10. Gives a nice little emotional punch at the end. Cinematography, 8 out of 10. The cinematography was actually one of the best parts of this movie. There is a one-shot action sequence that takes place in one shot in the middle of the movie. You guys will see it. You guys will know it when you see it. That's just done so masterfully. It really is done. It's great. Pacing, 4 out of 5. Done really well. Rewatchability, 4 out of 5. And 5 out of 5 automatic. So if you did the math, Project Power gets a 79 out of 100. That is 3.5 stars. It is a C+. That is not too shabby. Again, it's not the best movie in the world. It's not a perfect movie at all. A lot of the writing kind of takes me out of it. But if you're in it for just an action-packed time, that is this film. This film is a great action-packed thrill ride. I would highly recommend you guys check it out. And yes, Project Power on Netflix. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, liking, commenting, subscribing. All that means the absolute world. Let me know down below in the comments, what did you think of Project Power? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. But guys, that is pretty much it. Have a rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.